What I found most shocking about the articles and the videos was that there are so many children that suffer from a mental health issue, but only 7% of those 15 million can actually get treated. I think that this has a lot to do with our mental health services and their availability and cost and affordability. There's a lot of issues with children with aggressive behaviors and extreme aggressive behaviors, and it's hard for those parents to deal with those kids to the point where they end up like calling the cops on their child because they feel like their child is going to injure them or hurt them. And I think that if there was a better mental health program set into place, that these problems wouldn't be as big as they are, and parents would be able to know they can get their kids help if something's wrong, or if their kid's depressed, they can go to somebody. I think that schools do have a responsibility to help kids with their mental health. A lot of teachers are around kids more than their parents are, you know. If they're in an elementary school classroom, it's the same teacher every day, 5 days a week for 8 hours. And, you know, they wake up and go to school and then go home and do homework and eat dinner and go to bed. So the teacher sees them a lot and sees how they interact with other kids, especially if they don't have siblings. The parents won't get to see that. They get to see how they're actually performing in school, what's happening during school hours, if they're getting sleepy during the day because maybe something's happening at home where they don't get to sleep all night because mom and dad are fighting, or something else. And they get to see if the child is lashing out for random reasons that the parent might not be able to see, or if the child gets anxious around other kids or gets anxious to speak in class. And that's things that, you know, like a parent's not going to see if their 8-year-old is afraid of public speaking, because there's no reason for an 8-year-old to speak publicly in their house. So it's something that the teacher can point out and talk to the parents about, and, you know, talk to the school nurse about, and talk to people about, to get them help. But, you know, there's kids that are also on the other end of like acting out. The teacher just says, well, they're just being bad, and to tell the parent like, well, there's a lot of aggression issues, and the parent doesn't know that it's a sign that they need help. They just think, well, my kid's not behaving. So I think teachers need to be more educated on the signs of, you know, a behavior disorder and aggression disorder, and notice the kids could be lashing out for a specific reason. I think that more training with teachers and updated training would help a lot, and I think that school districts being more mindful that, you know, one of the audio clips said that there's sometimes only one school nurse for an entire school district, and that's tens of thousands of kids sometimes that only get one person that they can talk to if they do need help. So I think it's important for, you know, teachers to establish good relationships with kids so the kids can feel comfortable going to talk to them if something is happening at home that's making them, you know, depressed or anxious or suicidal. And I think that making safe spaces for kids to be able to talk about their feelings, or talk about their feelings in a semi-anonymous way where, you know, they can like journal and then grade the journal or something like that. So activities where kids can tell somebody if they don't feel comfortable talking about it, or an environment where, you know, kids focus on a lot more like safe coping mechanisms and mindfulness, to know that, you know, if you are dealing with something, there's a safe way to cope with it and there's a not safe way to cope with it, and these are the tools that you can use to help yourself get better, and if you want to talk about it, you can, type of thing. So I think that would be a big shift that the schools need to do, to focus not so much on grades and all that stuff, but also help a child develop emotionally and mentally as much as they can.